Alright, today we got issues. One of our lamps has gone out on our NEC projector. Up under here. It's a PX700W. We're going to go ahead and change out both lamps because I'm sure they're both in at the same time, so probably lost life out of both of them. Just need to go ahead and yours may not be like this, but we're going to back these screws out at the top here. The bottom. We're going to do it to both of them. Pop this panel out, and it's got a cable. Usually there's the cable. It's just going to hold this fan. Same thing with this one. Now it's saying my lamp 1 is down, but I'm probably going to do 1 and 2 since I got it open. Alright, so it's lamp 2 is on this side, lamp 1's over here. It's just labeled, that's where I can see it. So I'm going to go ahead and do these 3 screws on the lamp. Since I have only got one arm free, I'm probably going to only end up pulling this one out, and I'll do this one in the video. Maybe pull the other one out. I just don't want to drop anything on the way down, so we'll see what happens here. Maybe I'll pull one out and set it on top of the projector. And a third one over in this corner. And it should just pull out as well. I'm going to put my hand in position against this. This is going to be my fulcrum as I pull out. Trying to equally pull it out. I got to move my hand because it came out a little sideways and I want to come exactly straight out. Wow, it's still a little warm from when I turned it on to make sure which lamp was the bad one. Yeah, I can see the bulb. The bulb in there, it's I'll show it to you once we extract it. The bulb in there is actually swelling. The glass is overheated. Set it up on top. And let's go ahead and just extract number 2, because number 2, we'll at least check it, see if it looks the same. Alright, I'm pulling out from the center again. I'm going to position my hand against this side over here as a fulcrum. Now I got to go to the bottom. It doesn't seem to be working as well. Wow. Make sure it's all the way out. Yeah, it'd help if the screws are all the way out. Come on. There. Switch hands, maybe. There we go. I use the screw to pull it out. The screws are secured into the housings. Oh yeah, lamp 2's gone too. It's starting to bubble up. Even though the projector didn't say it's going bad, I can tell it's going bad. Alright, so I got both the lamps out. We're going to take them down and disassemble them. Alright, so we've got our NEC projector bulb here. Let's see if we can, we're going to go ahead and swap it out so I can get you in a better position to observe all this. I'm going to go ahead and first of all, get you some gloves on so you aren't handling the bulbs. I know these are old, but whenever I get into the new ones, you don't want to have any skin oils on them whatsoever. You might cause it to overheat and blow out early. See if I can separate these wires. I'm going to get some multi-tools. Holding on there pretty secure. I've done this before, I just want to make sure, yeah, I see where it's at. So I'm going to get a knife, pry up just this little middle tab. That's the one that's holding it in. Be careful not to cut myself. Just a little bit. Help it come out. Really don't want to break anything. Just wiggling it up and down. There we go. So we can take this back one off here without messing up the crimp. Wiggling it left to right. There we go. Pull real easy. You don't want to rip your terminals out of the bottom plug here, or where it actually connects up through the housing. Alright, now we've got the wires out. Go ahead and stand it up vertically, and you're going to see we've got not very good filming, first of all, because it's not coming in so clear. But I've got 4 screws around the edge here. See if we can zoom in. Not the best film quality. Got to work on that. But there are 4 small screws around the corners here. Not this one. Sorry, there's 3. 1, and then there's 2. And let me show you the third one. Third one's back in here. Pay attention to your clamps, how they are actually positioned whenever you remove it. Zoom back out for you. That screw is really in there tight. I think I need to go get a different screwdriver. This one seems to be too much of a point, and I don't want to strip that one out. Alright, so I got a different screwdriver, a different tip. Hopefully a little bit better, solid tip. Oh yeah, that's the one I was wanting. And as always, while you're working, be careful. There is a piece of protective glass on the bottom here. Don't break it while you're working on this, and while you're trying to save money, don't cost anybody any more money. I'm going to go ahead and pull this clip off. It's right here. Go for the next one. off as well. Like I said, remember which way the clip is oriented to hold it down. Wow, it's such a small clip, it's so hard to see. If I can get something behind it. Your best bet's always to be observant about the work you do. When you're taking something apart, don't take it apart too fast, and then you forget how everything goes the way it was when you took it off. Alright, this one I'm going to need to get an extension. Alright. Guess this is going to be the difficult one. Come on. Alright, this is being difficult to come out, so what I'm going to try to do, I've got 3 other points open. I'm going to see if I can leave that rest in there and extract the whole bulb. I just take my time. If it wants to be stubborn, just let it be stubborn. Alright, cool. We'll leave it as it is. I can work around it. So I got the bulb here. I'm just going to show you. You might not be able to see it well with the reflection. So I can get some black in there. No, you probably won't be able to see it very well. But the bulb inside there, there you go, that's a little better. It's actually, see that belly? It's actually got a pocket. Actually heated up. It's like it's ready to pop. Belly is right there on the bulb. That's a big round blown out part down in there. So we've got a new one to replace. We'll go ahead and put it in. I don't very much care for these projectors for the main reason because the bulbs are so expensive, like $600 a bulb, and the projectors themselves take 2 bulbs to operate. 2 bulbs. So remember your orientation of where your clips were, so you can put the bulb in the same way. And I'm going to just try and tip it up. Same way I took it out, I'm going to put it back in. I'm going to have to press a little to the side to compress that actual tension retaining clip there. Okay, I got it to drop into place. Fully seated. Just double checking. Alright. Set it down and get our clips back in. Not the easiest thing to do with gloves, working with these little tiny screws. See if I can set it down. Use the screwdriver to help me get started here. Wow. Nothing like fighting you. step up, try the multi-pliers. My rubber gloves just keep getting up underneath the threads of the screw. Come on. Why don't you go in your home? I'm going to thread it backwards slowly till I feel it drop in so I know it's lined up. I'm not going to go in all the way because I got to get these, there's little pins that retain that clip in the right spot. Now I've got them lined up. I can drive it home. Maybe the back one will go a little easier. Have some pity on me. So I gotta use my multi-pliers everywhere to get everything situated. Wow. Come on. Got 50% of it on there. Okay, finally got the clip in. Now the hard part is getting the screw in. Wow. Come on. Don't celebrate too early. Finally. Okay, so all the screws are back in. I'm just going to push these terminals back on. And we need to go ahead and start on the next one. I got a little bit of dust on my lens on the outside. I'm going to go ahead and I'll wipe that off after this. See if we can knock the second one out a little quicker. Now we've got our practice in. Good deal. Just break them free by hand with the screwdriver, and then I'll probably just use the bit to get them the rest of the way out. Come on, there it is. We're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to leave that rear clip in right there. We're going to leave that retaining clip in, and we're just going to pop this side. We're going to tilt it out a little this direction to the right side of your screen carefully. This bulb's compromised as well on the inside. I can see it's going. pay attention to the clip orientation the way it was and put it in the right direction again. I guess practice is not making me perfect, but making me a little bit more efficient. Let's go ahead and start with the pliers. Try something as an experiment. I'm going to go ahead and put this screw in here. I'm going to grab the edge of this, see if I can start the screw and spin the clip around. I'm actually just going to start the clip outside. And I guess you can. And then just rotate the clip in. That'll probably be your easiest way for everybody to do it. So yeah, now that you've seen that, hopefully I can remember that next time I change the bulb out, put the screw in the clip, go ahead and insert the screw, get it started on the threads, and the retaining clip still has enough room once you get the thread started to rotate it around and hold the light bulb into place. Now we're going to go ahead and just tighten these back in. Put our terminals back on. And let's go reinstall these and power it back up. Alright, so we're back out here on the lanes. I've got the bulbs repaired. They're universal housings, so it doesn't matter which side you put it back into. You don't have to keep track of that. Just have to remember what way is orientated. Both of these face into each other because I got my I'm looking at my power plugs too, just to make sure. Always take your time. Just making sure it's seated fully, so that way it's plugged into its internal terminals. Got terminals that go right here. They're going to connect on the inside. Trying to get a little light. There we go. Connected on the inside to right there. Those are your two terminals. Go ahead and set the other ones in. Tighten all my screws back that held the bulb housing in. You got 3 on each one. getting them tight enough where they hold the bulb in, don't crack anything out, no extra pressure. Put our cooling fans back in. Pay attention, you got your terminals here on the end. Make sure your wire is out of the way, that cable that holds it up. I like to get them both into place first before I tighten any screws down. That's weird. Now I gotta pull this one out. For some reason that top one's not screwing in, and it should have a backing to it unless it's stripped, which I didn't pay attention to when I took it out. Everything appears to be fine. Let's try starting with the top one first. I gotta look at something one more time. Let's see how long this screw is when it comes out. Alright, see how long this one is when it comes out. Huh. Doesn't look stripped out. There we go. Finally caught on. Just had to give it some extra pressure back there to get the thread started. Alright, so we're going to power it up on the side over here. Wow. Held it down for a couple seconds so it started up. My cooling fan started in the back, so that's at least a good sign. Shouldn't take long. The image should come up in the front. And then I probably have to cancel out my timers or my lamp life meters and reset them. All in all, that should be good. Should be fully set up. I don't think we need to sit here and watch a movie.